Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. And you and you and you and you and you and you and you.
Welcome to my learning circle. I'm Miss Connie and I'm so glad that you're here with me today so that we can learn more about how to be math detectives. We've been working on learning how to be math detectives. But before we learn something new for being a math detective, let's get our wiggles out. Show me your wiggling fingers. Very good. And now shake your arms and roll your neck. And now we're ready to begin. When we are being math detectives, we said that we needed to do that in order to solve word problems. That's right. We have to be good math detectives and look for our clues in order to solve our word problems. I'm going to put that on our board so we can focus on it a little bit more. Now, do you remember what we have to look for in order to be good math detectives? In order to solve our word problems? That's right, we have to look for our clues. Our clues in our word problem tell us what we need to do. So we have to look for our clues. Our clue number one is our numbers. We have to look for our numbers. And our clue number two is we have to look for our action words. Awesome job. Now, we have looked at word problems where we are composing, where we are adding information together. Let's see what happens when we use what we learned about decomposing and taking things apart with our word problems, okay? All right, so I have a word problem on our board for us today. Let's read it together, all right? There were 4 apples on a tree. 1 apple fell off. How many are still on the tree? All right. Now, we just reviewed. Review is a word we use to say that we are thinking about what we already know. We are remembering what we have already learned. So we have reviewed what clue number 1 was at the beginning. Do you remember what clue number 1 was? Very good. Clue number 1 is we have to look for our numbers. Awesome job. So I'm going to read the problem again. I want you to stop me when I get to our numbers so that we can circle them, so we can pay attention to our clues in our word problem, okay? There were 4. There's our number. Very good. There were 4 apples on a tree. 1. There's another number. Very good. 1 apple fell off. How many are still on the tree? All right, we have clue number 1. Now, what was clue number 2? That's right. Clue number 2 is we have to look for our action words that tell us what we need to do with our numbers, okay? So let's reread our problem again. There were 4 apples on a tree. 1 apple fell off. That is an action. That is something that is happening to our apples. 1 apple fell off. So I'm going to circle fell off with our green marker because that's clue number 2. All right. So we know our numbers and we know our action word. We know the 2 clues we need to know. Let's get ready to look at our tree. And today we're going to use my magnets for our apples. All right, so we have 4 apples on the tree. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now, we know that 1 apple fell off. Fell off. That means that 1 apple is being taken away. One apple is no longer on the tree because it fell off. That means we are doing a subtraction problem. We are decomposing our number 4, and one apple is going to fall off. Now, let's look at our problem again and see what answer we are supposed to be looking for, what question we are supposed to be answering, okay? How many are still on the tree? Okay, well, we had 4 and one of them fell off. So we need to count how many apples are still on our tree. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Our answer is 3. There are 3 apples still on the tree. Awesome job. All right, let's work on this one more time to practice, because you get better and better when you practice and practice, right? So let's go up here and change our word problem a little bit so that we can practice using our decomposing skills to solve our word problems. There were, let's say there were 3 apples on a tree. And I think we're going to say 2 apples fell off. We'll keep that the same. How many are still on the tree? All right, so we know when we are doing a word problem, to be a good math detective, we have to look for our clues. So, clue number 1, we have to find our numbers. That's right. So let's read this problem, and you stop me when we get to a number so that I can circle it for us, okay? There were 3. Very good. There's one of our clues. There's one of our numbers. There were 3 apples on a tree. 2. Very good. There's another number. 2 apples fell off. How many are still on the tree? All right. We have our clue number 1. We have our numbers. Now, let's look for our clue number 2. Clue number 2 was what? Clue number 2 was we have to find our action word. We have to find what's telling us what's happening in this problem. All right. So there were 3 apples on a tree. 2 apples fell off. Hey, fell off. That is an action. That is something that is happening to our apples. They are falling off of our tree. That is our action word. So we are going to circle that because that is telling us what is happening in this problem. Now, let's use our magnets again. So there were 3 apples on a tree. Let's put 3 apples on our tree. Can you help me count them? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 3 apples on our tree. 2 apples fell off. We have 3 apples on our tree, but 2 of them are falling off of the tree. That means we need to have 2 of our magnets. 1, 2 fall off of our tree. So we took our numbers and we took our action word. We looked at our clues. We put it in our picture. Now we need to pay attention to what the problem is asking us, right? There were 3 apples on a tree. 2 apples fell off. How many are still on the tree? We are looking for how many are on the tree after some of them fell off. So that means we need to count how many apples are still on the tree. Get ready. Here we go. 1. Awesome job. 1 apple. That means the answer to this problem is answer to our word problems because we were being good math detectives. We were looking for our clues over there. Our clue number 1, we have to look for our numbers. That's right, our 3 apples that were on the tree and our 2 apples that fell off of the tree, right? We have to find our numbers. And then clue number 2, we have to find the action words in our word problem. Like in our word problem here, our apples fell off. Fell off tells us what's happening to our apples in our word problem. And then we are able to take the information from our clues to make a picture to help us see what's happening and be able to answer the question at the end. We put our 3 apples on our tree, and then we took 2, 1, 2 to have them fall off. And then we look at our question to answer it. How many are still on the tree? And we know when we had 3 and 2 fell off, that how many were left? 1! 1 apple was still on the tree. Awesome job. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.